Hi guys, this is Dr. Sadasivam once again with you. And in today's video, we are going to talk about the importance of products and packaging. Of course, we all agree that the products have to be exemplary in comparison to competitor products. Otherwise, there is no way any product can sustain in the market. But at the same time, packaging is extremely important, and we are going to highlight that with the use of some simple examples. Now, let us visualize and imagine this kind of a situation. How is food packed in a roadside chole chawal radiwala? That is, let us call it as situation number one. The second situation is, please visualize how is food packed on a dhaba on the highway. Third, we are going to talk about little more organized restaurant and how does food look like in, for example, Bikaner wala, for example, or Haldiram. Then finally, we are going to talk about how does this packaged food look like in a five-star hotel. Now, let us talk of some similarities. What are some of the similarities? Yes, you are right. Because in each of these, you have your roti, you have a sabji, you have a gravy, broadly speaking, and of course, salad you have. Broadly, this is the main one. Is there a great differentiator among all these four? Yes, one can come up with lots and lots of things in terms of the hygiene in which it was prepared, the quality of wheat, the quality of vegetables purchased, etc. etc. Agreed, you are right. But apart from these similarities, are there any differences? Yes, you're right. The kind of packaging is different. The quality of food is different, you might say. The taste could be different. The presentation of how it is packaged, the hygiene is different. Some of the health parameters, for example, because some of the food which are cooked in five-star hotel, they take into consideration the calorific value, calories, and host of other things, because most of these five-star hotels have nutritionists who will focus on the CV, calorific value, etc., etc. But the price levels are extremely different. And how much is the difference? Maybe a 2000 rupee meal at a five-star hotel may charge, some five-star hotels may even be 2500 rupees, which is at the top end. And the bottommost being this roadside chole chawal wala, probably you get the same thing for 40-50 rupees. The same rotis and salads and dals and sabjis, right? Now the question is the price what we are paying, is that for the content, that is the food in this case, roti, sabji, dal, or for the other external factors? Some people might say five-star hotel is costly because it has got its ambience, it has got air conditioning, etc. But we are talking about packed food. Ambience doesn't come into picture at all. But in spite of that, the charges are very high. We are not getting into interior details, into minute details, etc., etc. But what is important is the broad picture. We're looking at the big picture, the price that is being paid, and what we are getting in return for it. We are talking about parceled food at this point in time, and the difference in price is quite significant. Now we are changing this visual imagery, right? Change this situation. Now we are going to swap the food and the packaging. Swap the food and the packaging, for example. Five-star hotel in a Bikaner package, or a Bikaner food in a five-star package, or roadside chola bature wala food to some other thing. Complete swapping is happening. The whole scenario becomes different. Now imagine that situation. Both the packs and contents, they have been changed and swapped. Now the question to you is, will you even be able to make out? Most probably you won't be able to make out when it is packaged. Therefore, the most important thing is the packaging is extremely important. You might think that it might seem very, very trivial to most of us, but packaging is extremely important because a large part of what we pay for is for the packaging and the brand, and the content is secondary. Now, everything we have discussed, they are all very simple concepts. This does not require a huge amount of brain to understand, but we are now going to come to the most important part of it. We are going to connect it with our own brand. We have talked about various brands. We have talked about a roadside brand. We have talked about a Bikaner Wala brand. We have talked about a premium brand, which is a 5-star hotel. We talked about a Daba brand. Now, each one of us as individuals, we are a brand at ourselves, because everything that applies to a brand applies to us. Everybody has a certain level of branding. Just as we had this content as far as the hotels are concerned, your roti, your sabji, your dal, etc. But what is content in the context of personal branding? I leave that to you. But typically, in terms of what you know, that is your knowledge, your experience, your skills, etc., which is very similar to that of food, your roti, sabji, dal, the content that we discussed about. This is your content as far as your personality is concerned. Now, what is the package? Your knowledge and all that is a content, but what is your package? So in the analogy of a packed food, packing there pertains to what in you? How do you package yourself? How do you package yourself in a manner that the outside world sees you, outside world looks at you? That is largely dictated not only by who you are, but more in terms of how you project yourself, how you carry yourself through your behavior. What is behavior? Behavior is the way you communicate, the maturity you show in your communication, the voice you display, the sophistication that you reflect in your day-to-day behavior. These are some of the things that come to my mind, which are reflective of packaging. What you know, your experience, your knowledge, it is all the content, roti, sabji, dal. How you package yourself is reflected largely in the manner in which you carry yourself, how you communicate with people, what kind of behavior you display in your everyday behavior for the outside world. Because subconsciously, we are displaying all this all the time. And the world is constantly observing you. You are being observed. You are on the spotlight all the time. So in the context of all these, there is a very strong level of introspection that is required. What is it that each one of us are doing today to improve this aspect of packaging in ourselves? That is what is extremely important. That is important for us to grow in our life, because every day we need to get better in our job, right? I leave the rest of the things for you to think over it, to ponder over it, to introspect over it. I've got no specific suggestions to offer at this point of time. And I leave all these points to you and to your own introspection. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this presentation. We'll come out with lots and lots of videos which will answer most of your queries in some way or other. Right? I hope you enjoyed this presentation. I will be very happy to see your comments down in the comment box. So please comment on it. I'm personally very eager to go through all those comments and reply back to you. Okay guys, this is Dr. Sadasivam signing off till we meet again. Bye bye. Jai Hind.